Rise of the Sentiron Chapter 1 Part 2. This made the robot look even more confused, but the girl's expression softened and her body relaxed. The scientist, coming to his senses, saw his daughter in front of him and pulled her away from the robots. The girl, however, was now curious. "Dad, I have a million questions." She walked closer to the robots, who were now curious as well. The smaller robot leaned down and got on its knee, positioning its head at her level, ultimately meeting her gaze. The scientist looked at his daughter, now realizing that the robots meant no harm. "Lila, you have questions that majority of which I can answer, but that will take a while." She turned her head to him a little, but still didn't break eye contact with a large robot in front of her. "Fine, then at least answer these. Where did they come from? What are they, and who are they?" Her dad sighed and answered, "The answer to question number 1 is that they have been forming inside those now broken tubes over there for about 13 years, and just woke up a couple of minutes ago. Answer number 2 is they are robots." Lila interrupted with, "Duh." "Continue." The scientist continued. "They were created to be extremely powerful and dangerous." Finally, answer number 3 is that they are machines built for war. He looked at the robots. "They have the purpose of defending Earth from an alien attack that I fear is not too far ahead in the future. In fact, that is why I made them, to fight aliens. I built a large shield surrounding Earth's atmosphere controlled by satellites, but I now know it will probably not be enough to hold off hostile extraterrestrials with superior technology." Lila finally turned around completely to face him. She spoke with doubt. "Dad, I thought you built that to strengthen the atmosphere because of how bad pollution has gotten. You know that aliens exist only on TV, right? Besides, how do you know that aliens are real?" Lila's father got very stern and spoke with a grave voice. "Because I have seen them. I have seen their ship lurking outside of the force field with my superpowered telescope many times. We may not have much time until they attack. I could only create 2 of these super soldiers between the time that I first saw the aliens and now." Lila was shocked. She thought all of the theories about aliens were just bored people trying to scare everyone and stir the pot. Boy, was she wrong. She looked at the robots before her. "Dad, what are their names?" she asked, trying to distract herself from the terrifying realization. The scientist brightened a little and pointed to the taller robot. "That one is Sentiron 34587G. He then pointed to the shorter one. "And that one is Sentiron 3473597H. The machines and Lila exchanged glances. Then, Lila stared at her father in disbelief. "Are you kidding me? I will not be calling them those when the end of the world comes." "Okay," she said, pointing to the taller one. "I need to give you 2 pronouns to make this a little easier. I know you 2 are robots and aren't really male and female, but I will just work with it for now. You look like a guy simply because of your build, so you will be a guy, and you look like a girl, so you will be a girl," she said, nodding toward the smaller robot. Her father tried to intervene, but she shushed him. "Dad, he seems to deserve a slightly scary name, and I just thought of the best one. You will be named Lockjaw." She smiled at Lockjaw as he showed a pleased face, obviously proud of his name, but his face held a little bit of something else. Lila turned back to the smaller robot and said, your fingers look so sharp." "That's it. Your name is Saberclaw." Lila jumped and clapped with success, then composed herself. She looked at her dad, who was shaking his head in his hand, but was smiling. She also looked at her newly named companions, who seemed off. All of a sudden, they changed. Their bodies were engulfed in bright, electric blue smoke. Lila and her father jumped backward. When the smoke cleared, the robots were very different. Their armor had changed from shiny gray to bright colors. Lockjaw's armor was now a sky blue, and his wings seemed to glow with blue color, and his optics, which looked like human eyes, but were mostly black instead of white, and had visible blue liquid flowing through them like veins, matched his armor color. Saberclaw was green. Her armor reflected green light onto the walls, and her wings looked like a painter had spilled all of their green paint onto them like a beautiful, yet accidental canvas. Her eyes were green in the middle where Lockjaw's were blue. They stood with pride as Lila's and her father's jaws literally dropped. "You 2 are impressed, huh?" Lockjaw said. Yeah, you guys look like you have seen a snail teleport. Saberclaw laughed as Lila struggled to find her words. You guys can talk. Lockjaw nodded as Saberclaw answered. I guess we didn't really know how until now. Oh, and I can do this too. She closed her eyes and she turned into a human. Saberclaw now looked like a roughly 15-year-old girl. She was tall and had long, deep, and straight auburn hair. She was wearing a green shirt with loose-fitting, black sleeves. The shirt was tucked in her light blue jeans. She had light-tint skin with bright green eyes that barely met the natural standards. Lockjaw became human as well. He had olive skin that was slightly lighter than Lila's and was wearing a blue shirt with deep blue jeans. He had a little bit of facial hair around his sharp jawline and jet black hair with a widow's peak. Cool, huh? He said with his confident voice.